Hello, I'm joined today by my good friend and guest, Mr. Jonathan Stein from Vaboo. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very good, Mr. Mintz. How are you?
I'm very well, looking a little bit like an estate agent today. I don't mind telling you, I'm on the job today. So, one of the things that we are going to be concentrating on is this tie-up between Vaboo and Kerfuffle to try and help agents combat something that we're hearing a lot about in the press. All the headlines are talking about the rising cost of living. Tell us where Vaboo come into the picture.
Yes, I mean, in terms of our proposition in general, that's something that has always been something core to our offering in terms of being a rewards platform. But the reason we're speaking today is because of some recent developments and I guess relaunch of the platform that we had at the beginning of this month, and the launch of our new freemium service, which will help our agents or prospective clients help their customers improve or combat the rising cost of living without cost to the agent.
So I'm going to stop you right there, because when I hear people say freemium, the cynical side of me says, come on, is it really free? No such thing as a free lunch. Is it really free, Jonathan?
It absolutely is free. The whole purpose of Vaboo is about improving the image of the industry, helping our clients with their brand and customer engagement. The rising cost of living is something which isn't going away, and it's a very important matter that needs tackling. So, we've created this free version of the platform to prove the power of the platform. That's been done for various different reasons. One, because of changes that we've been able to make internally and efficiencies as we've scaled as a business. Two, because it has been requested previously by clients, if I'm honest. So now we're in a position where we can prove the value of a rewards platform, prove the sort of engagement levels that it drives, and help our clients get an understanding of their customer base.
So there's no catch, there's no contract, and there's no cost, and it enables people to really sort of sample this service and to harness the benefits of it. Now, there are a few benefits. I know this because I've used the system myself, but there's a few benefits to it. And one of those benefits might not jump out at you at first, but it's the data that you're able to collect along the way. So just touch on that for us, for people that might not know about this.
Yes, because of the, I guess, intrinsic and extrinsic aspects of the service, whereby effectively when anybody comes to our platform, they are rewarded in one way, shape or form, whether that's utilizing a discount, whether that's entering our prize draws or taking advantage of our giveaways. Therefore, they're much more engaged and happy to share with us valuable information about their wants and needs today and in the future. So what we've noticed over the last 3 years is we're able to get a lot of this data quite easily. I'd say more successfully than many others in the industry. So we are sitting on lots of leads for things like financial services. In particular, that's something that's grown dramatically over the last few years. But going forward, that will also become things like insurance leads, and effectively our clients can ask questions about any product or service that potentially is a revenue opportunity for them.
So one of the fantastic things, I mean, we always ask you guys to point out certain sort of key statistics that we think viewers might want to hear about, but really the figures sort of speak for themselves. Within 12 months of using the platform, 77% of customers increased their NPS score by 25%. And 25% of those have seen an increase of, I think, 12 points or more. So an increase on an NPS score, it's not something that a lot of agents talk about regularly, but that really is a net promoter score, to give it its full name, is the ultimate indication, isn't it, of customer service and satisfaction. It's how you are rated and how you are valued by your customers and how you're perceived by your customers. And I think, coming off the start of award season, when you think about agents that are smashing it, they're winning awards, what are we really saying here? Have they got the skills that enable them to sell more property than anybody else? Or really, are we saying they win more business because their customer service and their perception by the public is so much better than everybody else? And I think there's a really strong correlation in our industry between customer perception and that customer journey and the value that you add as an agent and how successful you are. So these things are massively important, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the actual stats are that our clients on average increase their net promoter score 40% inside 12 months. The figure you gave was with regards to the 12 points or more, which is a significant increase in a 12-month period. 12 points or more typically represents the doubling of a growth rate for a business. But actually overall, our clients grow 40% inside 12 months, because even a few points increase is extremely positive. But also the other key factor to look at is the average net promoter score across our client base.
Yeah,
it's in the sort of the 50s, and that's on a par with big major brands like Apple, BMW, etc., etc.
Well, I did notice that your last client of the month achieved the same NPS score as Apple at 72. It's almost impossible, isn't it, out there to build that kind of customer loyalty. I mean, Apple have spent billions and billions of dollars getting to that point, and yet your customers, just through utilizing a simple solution such as yours, they're able to achieve the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, for a large organization like Apple to achieve those scores is even harder because they have so many customers. But it's all relative to the size of the organization and the growth that those organizations want. So yeah, it's kind of proven really that keeping your customers happy and engaged with your brand can only help with that. And actually, the other interesting thing is, there's one thing kind of wanting to grow your NPS in the future, but actually a lot of our clients in this industry don't even know what their NPS is to start off with. So first of all, it's getting an understanding, okay, where are you at today? Why? And how could you potentially improve that? So we have some clients, obviously, that the NPS score is made up of what every individual customer is saying. And we have some clients that really use this data really well. So for example, every week or every month, they'll look at the new people they've put onto the platform. And if anybody who's rated 7 or less out of 10 for their service will get a phone call. Why was it so low? Or how could it have been higher, or whatever? And this is super valuable stuff. And the other thing, a lot of the users today, the majority of our users today, are tenants. But these people, as we all know, are the future buyers. And I did listen to something you recorded with another supplier in the last couple of weeks, where they were saying you've got to be focusing on the buyers, not just the sellers. Because today's buyers are the sellers of tomorrow. And really, that's where our platform has proved super powerful, is we're tapping into this effectively new audience.
I think that's really true. I think the agents that are succeeding in the long run, or are going to succeed in the long run, are paying attention to where their next client is coming from. And what we know is that, the existing clients that are on the market today, yes, you can use prospecting to try and sort of poach them, but it's far more cost effective to try and get them whilst they're young, if you like, whilst they are on the beginning of their journey. And that journey, everybody's property journey starts somewhere. The very privileged people are able to go straight onto the property ladder and buy something from day one. The vast majority of us all started out in rental properties whilst we were saving for deposits and everything else. And that journey, I've got to tell you, hasn't changed for 50 years at least. So and it's unlikely to, particularly with rising costs as it is. So the safe money is on betting on those relationships bearing fruit if you treat your clients well. So if you treat buyers well and if you treat tenants well, you stand a much better chance of them coming back to you later on down the line because they trust you. You're building a very strong relationship with them. So obviously your solution comes at a time when costs are rising, and it's lovely to be able to turn around to anybody and say, listen, you know, the cost of everything pretty much is going up, but here we are trying to offer you discounts and savings across most of the purchases that you're going to have to make. It doesn't matter whether it's a gym membership or it's a new fridge, whatever it is that happens whilst you're moving or whilst you're in a relationship with our company, you've got something to offer them. But it's not just customers, is it? Landlords, staff, contractors, the list of who you could potentially benefit with Vaboo is almost endless, isn't it?
Yeah, so obviously when we first launched the business, it was predominantly about tenants, though landlords have always been able to go on the platform. And then we introduced this kind of the staff offering, but also with the kind of relaunch of the platform that we had at the beginning of the month, we're also able to put sales vendors and buyers on there as well to cover all aspects of the agency business. And again, that was done at the request of existing clients. So yeah, you know, effectively an agent can put whomever they wish to engage / reward onto the platform.
That is superb. So given that there is no catch, there's no contract, it benefits potentially everybody, why wouldn't you do it?
Exactly.
It's
a bit of a no-brainer, which, you know, as I said at the beginning, you know, our mission has always been about improving the image of the private rental sector. In terms of the rising cost of living, I don't think it's ever been more important to help people. So we've launched this free version to kind of prove the power of the platform. Agents can sign up to that today, have it forever. And you know, there will be other options, other products and services that the agents might be interested in later down the line, totally optional. But for now, this is about helping the industry help as many people as possible.
And there's never been a better time where this is going to be more meaningful than it is today, because anybody can offer rewards or discounts at a time when there's an abundance of cash flow and everybody's swimming in it and people are spending. That's fantastic. But to, you know, that's one thing, but then to offer it at a time when people are struggling, and it's well documented that even the most affluent of families are going to find this year's energy bills are really going to put them under pressure. You're able to offer and introduce something when it really helps, and I think you'll get remembered as an agent for a long time if you're able to harness and market this correctly towards your customers.
Absolutely. You know, we've got plenty of data and feedback from our user base that just simply having the rewards platform makes them feel more valued as a customer, irrespective of whether they even use it that much.
So when does this offer end, Jonathan?
So good question. So this is something which kind of, you know, isn't being launched, I guess, publicly to anybody and everybody. We're only doing it through select groups like Kerfuffle. So the current offer is available to anybody who signs up from now until the end of October. The reason being, we want to get people launched well in time for Christmas so their customers can save those pounds and pence.
So give me a typical application of Vaboo. So I don't know, because we know that it's not just for tenants, it's not just for buyers. You can also use it for sellers. You can use this as an instruction winner as well. If I'm moving home and typically I want to go and, you know, I'm going to have costs. So I might be moving to a property where I do need a fridge, or I need a couch, or I need simple houseware items. Can I use Vaboo for that? Or is there an offering there for me?
There's offerings in pretty much every category of spend that you could possibly think of. So yeah, depending on exactly what it is. what you're purchasing, then there should be something on the platform, and the deals are growing all the time. So yeah, pretty much anything and everything is covered, which means every demographic is covered as well.
And it is a fantastic way to build that relationship with your clients, but also to get that feedback, because businesses can use that feedback, and they can use the feedback from the customers and the scoring in order to improve their offering, and to generate more business. So this is going to end up adding to an agent's bottom line, and they're also able to be decent human beings at the same time by offering something that genuinely is going to alleviate financial hardship for those people that are moving during this time. So I think it's absolutely superb. I want to wish you the best of luck with it, and I know we'll be launching it soon. So coming to an agency near you, Vaboo. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.